good, y'all? Marlon MC Walker here. I'm 18 and I go to Olentangy Orange High School. I first started playing football probably around first grade. I was just thrown into it, a little bit of flag football, I-9 sports. Didn't know much of what I was doing, but knew I had to get to the end of the grass patch that they had. So
Was there a moment you realized you could be different?
yeah, ever since I was playing in first grade, I would just run by everybody. It was just a fun memory, and just I was always a little bit better than everybody else. Football became a little bit serious to me in sixth grade when I was playing on a little travel football team called the Olentangy Seminoles. We went to Sandusky to play in the Cedar Point state championship, and that's when it became a little bit more important to me than anything else.
Let's walk through here. This is kind of where the pool area is at, the recovery.
How long have you been here?
I've been here for about a semester long, so like six to 7 months. But this is my little fireplace area, just a little relaxing area and stuff.
This is
like
nice. So you just started living here?
That. Yeah,
around when
just
school started?
living here. Transferred in, moved, did all this stuff. Came from a big house. It was crazy. Really, it was like over 5,000 square feet. But it's a crazy change because it's just a small room, little dorm, little practice for when I go to college. So this is where I'll get my recovery in. Do a little bit of ankle work and stuff. You know, I twisted my ankle where the ankle braces every week. So this is a big recovery area for me.
What's your next big game?
Next big game is Olentangy this Friday. It's gonna be lit. It's at Olentangy, but we got like Gebhardt and Santa going against them. You know, it's gonna be a good game. Let you in. This is a little open area. Just a little relaxing area. This is where I do my homework and stuff. You know, I still gotta stay on top of grades. 4.0 student. For snacks every morning. For school, right before I head to school, hop over here, get a little something from the vending machines, and then hop in my car in the garage. Big part right here, last part of the house, the arcade. Academic room right here. I do my homework in here. Look at my phone, watching TV. Yep, this is the garage right here. I got the door for you. This is where I park at. It usually be packed in here. Not a lot of parking spots.
How you like Orange so
I love
far?
Orange. It's just a great place to be. Great culture. School is just as important as sports and stuff like that. Playing football, want to play basketball. Play basketball too. Me, Trey, and Levi go way back. Second grade, third grade, Ohio Hoopsters. All this area is just so perfect and stuff. And so just being here with my boys. I've always gone to Olentangy. I used to go to Berkshire up the street. So don't get me wrong. I love DeSales and I love Westerville, but Olentangy has always been
You went
my
to
home.
DeSales?
Yes, I went to DeSales my freshman year. I went to DeSales my freshman year, which is private school. I didn't like the uniforms and stuff like that. So it was just crazy.
How did the season start off for you? And did you have like the expectations that you guys would win a state championship?
Yeah, so at the beginning of the season, I was talking to my receiver coach, and we just did like some goals, and my goals were just to like have a fun season. I didn't expect nothing crazy off of like our team, have better stats than I had the years before, and have more fun. But thinking that we would win a state championship was never on my mind, and I'm certainly sure it wasn't on any of my parents or any parental people on minds. They let us know that. Once it came to like week 3, I seen some of our players moving a little different than I had ever seen anybody move on a field, and I was like, oh yeah, we got a good little chance to make a run. So yeah.
What does like the team mean to you?
The team means everything. This family, just like experiences that I've never gone through, and just like learning along the way was so important. I feel like after every game, we would be out till 1 a.m. at Steak and Shake or Cane's, and it just felt like something that I had never done before. So I'll never like take this moment for granted.
What is your daily routine like on a regular game day? What does that look like?
Yeah, so for a regular game day, I usually wake up around 7:30. Of course, take a shower, brush my teeth, put on the deodorant and stuff like that. I'll head to school and I'll start with a period 2 activation lift with Coach McKendrick, and usually it's just me in there with a couple other guys that are some JV guys that like to look up to me and stuff like that. So I'll start there, usually just some squats and stuff like that just to get my body warm. But I'll hit the trainers after that and head to English, and then I have AP Bio for a double block lunch. And usually during lunch I'm watching film on the team to see what we're gonna have to go against for the week. And usually I'm in AP Calc after that, and I leave that class, and it's free for the rest of the day. I feel like Fridays usually are the best days because get to take a little break after school. Usually hit the ice box, cryotherapy. Shout out them in Westerville, Ohio. Usually around 4:15, it was about game time. I'll have my pads on, my jersey on first, cleats on first. Got to put the spat on, and got to do all the little things before the game to be prepared.
Do you have like a pregame ritual?
Yeah, so before every game, I'll write something on my cleats. I know a lot of you've seen it. I'll tape some letters on my cleats. I'll write some names on my cleats. Trace's name always gave me like the most touchdowns, so I had to always get his name on there. I always had my name on there, but usually if it's somebody's birthday or somebody important to me, I would put their name on there.
Going through the season, like, how do you feel like your performance went, and was there anything like that kind of made you be like, oh shoot, this is kind of good? Like,
Yeah, so I feel like during the season my performance was very good. I started off the season with a little bit of an injury, but being able to persevere and stuff like that. My teammates were really able to get me over the cap and stuff like that. I think it was like the first two games. I was like, I've never scored a touchdown in the first two games, and I was like, oh yeah, this is gonna be a good season. So kick returning was fun as well. So I feel like I brought a little bit of juice to the team.
what was your mindset going to the playoffs, and what was like the team's mindset, and like how did you react to going to the playoffs?
So going into the playoffs, I was like, oh, we're just little old orange, and everybody was like, it's good to win like a regional or go and win regions and then be in the state. Just do that first. So I feel like we were gonna beat Berlin and Liberty. We had already beat them a couple of times, but we were looking back onto the other side of the bracket, looking at UA and Pickerington's, thinking, what were they gonna have in store for us? And when we got to those games, of course, it was just straight belt. So we eventually knew at that point we were something special in the playoffs. So I would say my favorite stadium was definitely the Crew Stadium, just to say that it was the atmosphere was cool, the weather was cool, it was perfect. It was like a rainy day, but it wasn't too rainy. And just what we had to go through that week, we had to get soccer cleats because it was a soccer field, not a lot of turf pellets, and it was just I felt like I had no like traction on the field, and so like it was like we were floating on like ice almost, but we got it done, got to make some plays and stuff like that, so it was really fun.
Do you have a favorite moment?
Yeah, favorite moment from that game was probably it was like after it was before halftime, but it was like I would always say like, oh well, I think it was tied 7-7, and I'm like in my head I'll be like, we're winning this game, so I called it kick return, and I think I got tripped up, but I should have taken it to the crib, so that was my favorite memory. Later after that I scored, so I didn't have to worry about it anymore. Yeah, like in free time, I like to tell people that like, especially if they want to be like a football player like me, it's like it's hard to let go of like some of the things that like you want to do in everyday life, but majority of my time goes into football because it's like what I love. So usually it's watching film. I'm hitting my fingertip push-ups that coach always told me to do. I'm catching from the jug machine. I'm running routes just for fun, just in the air. Or I'm just walking around talking to my parents, throwing the football. So
How do you like balance life? Like, let's say like you from being a regular teenager and you trying to strive for something bigger on the field.
right.
How do you balance that?
Yeah, I balance that in a couple of ways. I would start with saying that I hold myself to a high like clip. I don't want to like be like around people that are gonna hold me down or take me away from some of my goals. So I'm never gonna put myself in a spot where the other person has the decision with my career or my life. Also, I would say that like your friends and like who you hang out with is very important. Being in the football season, going to practices and stuff like that, it was good because all of us had like a family friend kind of vibe. So we would always hang out with each other. So we're always talking football. So we're always getting better. So
You playing football, like how did you survive not being burned out?
I think it's just the love for the game. I always was talking or like doing football, but at the same time, I knew when to chill out. I knew when to tell coach, "Hey, coach, I got a little injury. I need to take a second." Or I knew I always took like a little bubble bath after practice and stuff like that, a little meditation and stuff. So and yoga, so it wasn't all football. It's the balance of giving your body a rest.
What's your mindset?
Yeah, so everyday mindset is get a little bit better at practice every day. One thing I like to work on at practice every single day, day in and day out, is like my speed. So I'm thinking every day there's nobody that's going to beat me in a race. There's nobody that's going to run a route harder than me, because if there is, then there's somebody better than me, and I don't want anybody to be better than me. So having that mentality all these years has got me a long way. I feel like it's given me the respect like around this area in the city that I am definitely one of the hardest workers, and it shows that hard work beats talent when talent fails to work hard. Also, it developed into a kind of talent that nobody really can achieve. It's more of a mindset. It's come to practice every day ready, smiling, being ready to practice, and then destroy your opponent with a smile. So
If you could give advice to like your past self or your younger self, what would you say?
yeah, I had went on to that a little bit on Instagram. I said, if anybody's seen the Dear Little Number 9, just know that it's not gonna be the easiest, and it's not always gonna be the most fun path that I took. It's hard to be the one that just plays football, I guess. It's not always the coolest. So you'll be by yourself sometimes. You'll be upset, like why nobody likes you, but one day it'll all pay off. One thing I always tell like my family and my close friends is like I've like since I took football serious in like 6th and 7th grade, when I moved away from Berkshire for the first time during COVID. COVID was a big part of this, but I didn't really get to see my friends since. So it was like I was always like by myself, but I always had a lot of people that were around me. But at the same time, I was always on my own path. I didn't hang out with any of my friends. Didn't go to any parties. You know, it was just straight me focused on one goal.
MC, I'll be right there.
Yes, sir. Got you. But yeah, so this is my favorite place to recover and stuff. It's called Icebox. It's right here in Westerville area, right next to the Sheets. So I just love coming here. It's the cryo, extra cold, gets my muscles right and stuff before the game. Last night was the game. I got 1 touchdown, 150 yards. So
What are we listening to?
can I do Sorry Not Sorry by Bees?
This one.
Yes, sir.
Gotcha.
Thank you.
You guys have yet to give up a point on defense.
Right. That's amazing. I think we started a little bit faster this second game than we did the first game. So Icebox in Westerville, Ohio. Come check it out. My favorite meal at Chick-fil-A, number 1 meal, large fry, large peach milkshake, Polynesian Chick-fil-A sauce, and the cheese sauce to go with it. It's the most amazing thing. I'll dip the cheese sauce and then put it in the Polynesian and mix it. Fries is amazing.
You can't go wrong.
Can't go wrong. You literally can't go wrong with anything on the menu, but for that one specific thing, that's my go-to. Gotta do the mobile through. Even if nobody's in the drive-through, you gotta do the mobile through. You don't gotta talk to much people. Just get through here, straight through. It's just
nice.
It's a great thing. You just scan the code.
And they just give it to you, too.
Right, they just give it to you.
Yeah.
Sometimes I like saying what's up. Sometimes I know the people here. They know me because I be here so much. But
Hey, Chick-fil-A gonna sponsor you one day?
maybe.
Yes, sir.
Hey, hit me up. It's my favorite place.
It's gonna be a big year.
Yeah, it's gonna be a big year. We got.
Do you have any goals this season?
Goals just be better than I was last year. Keep it 100% straight and stuff. Keep a mental mind and stuff like that. We just as a team, we want to go really far and stuff like that, and we just got to stay together and stuff like that. So.
How you feel that you guys have a chance to win a state title?
I think we have a really big chance. As a team, I've never felt this connected. Just as a team going into like the first 2 weeks, I've never felt this good about how we played and been together like this. Like usually we don't hang out like on like a normal daily basis. We'll go by ourselves and stuff like that, just be on our own. But this year as a team, we made it a point to all be together and all be on the same page.
Bro, that's nice that Orange takes like athletics seriously, you know what I
Right.
mean?
Orange takes athletics as serious as they do academics. It's actually crazy. You should have seen the pep rally that we had this Friday. about 2,000. I would say at least 2,000 kids were in the gymnasium. It was the loudest one ever. I feel like Orange has the best pride in Central Ohio or Ohio, as a matter of fact. But yeah, it's crazy how much they take athletics seriously. You walk around the school, if you make a play one day, everybody's gonna know your name the next day. So it's a crazy thing about Orange. I think it's the second newest school behind Berlin. I think it's 13 to 16 years old. Yeah, I think it's 13 to 16 years old. Berlin's probably about 3, 4, or 5 years old. Probably the newest, but they don't got nothing on Orange. They don't have as much pride. Football team's not there. Basketball team's definitely not there, but we'll see this year. It'll be fun. We play Berlin week 5, so that's where that was my theater school before I left Olentangy the first time. So I have all my friends and buddies there. It should be a great time. I just gotta say that one because my old school it was just nostalgic, but then we also beat the brakes off them 42-0 at half. So it was a joyful time. But like as a team, I think our favorite or best game was the Upper Arlington game this last Friday. It was just so packed, so exciting. I love that field. It reminds me of Gahanna, but
It was close.
it was a good close game. 14-7 right before half we scored to tie it up. So that really pushed us over. But we're a third quarter team, so we get rolling in the third quarter.
Would you say you have like a lot of faith, or is that?
Yeah, 100%. I would say faith in God and stuff like that. I always go to church every single Sunday and always have my Bible in my bag for games, especially. It's the only reason I get through all of this.
How does that like play a role in your life?
Yeah, it's my whole life. If I didn't have God, I would be nothing. God is the reason I am here right now. So I would just say it's just such a blessing that He's put me in this life path.
How has family helped you, like along the way?
Yeah, family helped me a lot. My mom and my dad have always been at my games. My sisters come to all of my games. I just think that they get not as much like rep as they should, because some of that support is just me looking at them in the stands and just knowing that they're there. It makes me comfortable to play, or knowing that they have my back is just the most comforting thing.
How would you feel your like family pushed you, like told you to get better, or like helped you get where you are?
I joke around and sometimes I'm like, I wish I'd never played sports and stuff like that, but I feel like my family and my dad, and especially my dad and my mom, have always pushed me, because my mom has taken such incredible steps to learn just the whole game of football in like a year. And it's like me taking Spanish. I don't even know how to like say any of the words, but it's like, whoa, my mom like just learned this sport in like a year just for like me, just because she cared about me. So I'm like, it invokes me to like learn and do better in everything I do. And then my dad just being there for me every day, throwing the ball with me, or putting the ball in the jug machine, or even like his way of going on with life is just like, you got to attack everything with like a mindset like, oh, it doesn't matter, like you're going to be here today, but you might not be here tomorrow. This is like your only chance, like you only live once, so it's like you might as well just do it all before you're gone. So I mean,
what other sports have you played, and what made you choose football?
Yeah, I played throughout the years. I played basketball, I played baseball, I've ran track. I feel like I've chose football because, short story out, my favorite sport was basketball. Going into high school, that was like what I was supposed to be playing. It was like what I was looked to be going to do. And freshman year I came in and it was just like I felt better playing football. I felt like more comfortable. I felt like I could make the play easier. So I was I was more attracted to football after my freshman year.
What made you adjust from basketball to football?
Transition was pretty easy. I would say that by that point I had a good feel for football. I just felt like more specific. I would catch like a punt, or I'd catch like a kickoff, or I'd catch a ball, and I would just make a move, and it was like I was gone. And in basketball, it took a little bit more for me to be able to enjoy it, because I might have not been the best at it anymore. So I was like falling behind, but I was leading in football. I was beginning to lead in football.
As the season came to an end, how did it feel like realizing like your high school season is over?
Yeah, it was crazy. It was surreal that we got to win like the state championship at the end, but it was sad. I feel like during that game, it was more of like it's not the saddest thing in the world, but it was more of like a quiet ride home, because you're like, dang, I don't get to hang with my boys no more. I don't get to do any of this anymore. And we were just on the biggest stage, and it's like you're gonna go from that to just going to school and stuff like that. So while it was cool, it was pretty sad that we had to end it all.
How was it the next week going to school and being like, oh shoot, like I don't have a game this Friday?
Right, yeah, it was a little bit of cloud nine, but it fastly went away. I just jumped right into basketball practice and enjoyed it there. I actually feel real happy playing basketball, but yeah, it was just like you're a normal person again. You're not a superhero like the school thought you were.
How is it playing basketball again?
Yeah, it's refreshing, I would say. Going to basketball practice, dribbling the basketball is like it was what I always loved to do, and being able to do that in front of all the people that used to really love watching me play basketball is why I do it.
What do you feel like is the best advice your parents have given you?
Best advice my parents have definitely given me is that you definitely only live once. My dad just says, like, you might as well just shoot the ball. You might as well just go catch that ball and just make a bunch of moves. You might as well just have fun, because like one day you're just not gonna be here anymore.
And then what would be some advice for like people, let's say 7th grade, or people that want to go to play in the college, go do something with their stuff or any sport?
A big thing is opportunities are gonna come up, and you just have to be you have to be ready to take them. It's not always gonna be the funnest, like I said, it's not gonna be the easy path, but discipline and just being ready to work is like where your keys are gonna be at. I feel like some doors are gonna open, some doors are gonna close, but it's just the doors that God has for you. He always has the plan for you. So if a door closes, it's not always gonna be like your fault, but you gotta be ready to take the opportunity that is for you.
What are your plans after high school?
Yeah, so I really want to work into pre-med. I want to be an anesthesiologist, so anything chemical engineering, some staying on the STEM side though.
Mm-hmm. Going into college, like how are you feeling? Do you still feel uncertain about like what's next?
Yeah, I feel like I'm ready for this next chapter. All that I've been put through this season has prepared me for that, but I'm still a little uncertain about just like how everything's gonna go and just like where I'm gonna fit at.
How are you taking like this off season? How are you gonna be taking this off season?
Yeah, I'm gonna take this off season to focus on like my craft and focus on what I need to be better at, but also to recover and rest from the season. I feel like it's important so I can be back 100%. You never know where you're gonna be, and I'm just gonna put it in God's hands. But looking to develop, looking to get better, looking to find new opportunities, and I feel like one thing that I just need to do is always put my head down, because I know that I want to play football, but it's also about the academics and also about where I'm going to be in life with my family, and I want my family to have the best that any family's ever had. I'm looking to become an anesthesiologist, so work into pre-med at school, anything within chemical engineering or energy engineering. STEM, I want to be the best at my job. I want to be the best at everything, so if it means going and playing at the next level, or going and being a world-renowned doctor, I would love to do both of those things. Just looking into opportunities like going over to the West Coast and living, and just I want to do it for a family that I'm going to have one day.
Looking at like the sport of football, what would you say is given to you, and like what have you given it back to?
Yeah, I feel like I've been blessed with a lot of things in football, just like a natural feel and a natural competitiveness. I feel like my work ethic is par to none. I feel like there's nobody that's gonna work harder than me, and I feel like that's why I've been able to get to such a high level. I feel like one thing I'm working to get better at is just like speed and stuff like within football, but it's okay because it's in God's hands.
How would you say like you carry yourself like on a day to day, and what would you tell others, the people that don't really carry themselves that low but want to be where you are or higher?
Right. I feel like just to be in a position where I'm at, I feel like I've been blessed with this position because I hold myself to a higher stature than a lot of people because it's more of being a role model than just being with the crowd. I feel like everything that everybody does is not always what's supposed to be done. And sometimes you have to be able to make the decision between is this right or wrong, and that's the simple truth.
Did you know you wanted to be a basketball player and then you switched, and why?
Yeah, so I always loved basketball. I think since I was born, I had a basketball in my hands, played. I was born in Akron. I would have gone to St. Vincent, St. Mary's, and everybody's like, oh, you're going to be the next LeBron and stuff like that. But growing up, I was always really good at basketball and always strived to be a basketball player, but it was always something a little different about football. There was a different feeling. I felt like in basketball, I was always just the best and I couldn't work to get any better. But in football, it's like, oh, I'm stacking to get better. I'm always looking to get better. I always want to learn. I always want to do something a little bit better, and I want to be the best one day.
Do you ever have self-doubt, and how do you deal with that?
Yeah, I feel like everybody has self-doubt, and I feel like I'm one of the people that has the most about it. I feel it's like a lot of praying and it's a lot of meditation on just being able to be yourself and be true to yourself because not everything that's done is for you or not every opportunity is for you, so you can't really stress about it that much.
What are some stuff you like deal with behind the scenes that people wouldn't normally like tell, like, oh shoot, you know what I mean?
Yeah, I feel like one thing that I've dealt with behind the scenes is going to court, and now that I can talk about it, going to OSHA and doing things that nobody's really ever had to do. It was a lot of like mental things I had to go through. Some days I wouldn't be to practice. Most of the time I wasn't in the game plan, and just being able to handle life and that, going to court, like I said, not being able to practice, the thought of not being able to play was like hard, but you just have to smile every day, and I felt like that got me through it.
Why will this journey be worth it at the end?
Yeah, everything will be worth it at the end. I feel like this journey will be the most worth it at the end because of all the effort I put into it, all the care I put into it. I feel like playing football has been a part of my life for some time now, and it's a little bit of a different feeling than everything else I do. So I know that it's in God's hands, but one thing I know is that I'll end up being special one day.
What kind of legacy do you want to leave behind?
I just want everybody to know that it's not always the biggest kid, it's not always the one that's the fastest or the best hands or any of the football or athletic like attributes that you can have, but it's like your heart and like really like what you want to do. Whatever you want to do in life, you just put your mind to it. And I know it sounds corny, but it's something that I did, and now I'm going some places that other people couldn't.
Who are you doing this for at the end of the day?
At the end of the day, I'm doing this for my family and like a lot of like my grandparents, like my grandpas, they both wanted to see me graduate high school, and I feel like most of the time I would put their name on my my eye tape because it was just like a representation of like who really cared for me, and it's just like they always will care for me because I was just part of their family. So.
What's the next version of MC Walker look like?
Yeah, the next version of MC Walker is the same smiling, caring person, but I feel like I'm gonna have way more energy and way more of a spotlight. I feel like God's gonna put me in a position to change a lot of people's lives.
What's the hardest criticism you had to face?
Hardest criticism I've had to face is just like the being overlooked or not being chosen. Like Katie said, he's always been chosen second. I've always been chosen pretty much last, and I feel like people have overlooked how much of an attribute I could be to their team or their lives or anything.
What do you tell yourself before every snap?
Before every snap, I basically pray. Just pray that I do everything right. I can run the route and I'm not getting injured. I feel like everything is put into God's hands, and like if it's not, then I would just crumble down and be done. So.
Do you feel like you carry something bigger than yourself?
Yeah, I feel like I carry a lot of things bigger than myself, but the last name I carry on my back is always something that I feel like will be the biggest thing, and also being a disciple of God, because it's just like you gotta be a good role model, and those are the most important things in my life. So.
Are you ever afraid to disappoint people, and like how do you deal with that?
Yeah, I'm always afraid to disappoint people, just like I'm always doubting myself. But one thing that my parents always told me is you got to remember your past so you can be better in the future. And one time when I was in, what was it, like 7th grade or 8th, no, it's freshman year, I had got cut off the top basketball team in the state, and I had made quite a lot of mistakes, doubted myself quite a lot. And I had 3 free throws on my next team that had gave me a chance, and I had 3 free throws to make one and tie the game to go to overtime, and I missed all 3 of them, and I felt like the world was over. But at the end of the day, I was still there and I was okay. So I was like, I learned from those opportunities, and I was like, that will never happen again. So it made me an even better person.
What does no one see behind the highlights?
Yeah, nobody sees behind the highlights the work and just all the time I put in. I feel like when I was at Westerville North, I would be, from day one, I was running the route the hardest. There was never a time where anybody else was running a route harder than me, staying at practice later than me, talking to coaches, being respectful, being nice, being the quote-unquote coach's pet, but just being who you're supposed to be every day and doing that perfectly well. So it started at DeSales, started at Westerville, and it led to Olentangy, where it just became a habit.
Describe a day when quitting felt easier than just continuing.
Yeah, so I would say probably Monday, October 6th. I had football practice, but one thing about me is I always like want to be at practice 100%, even if I'm hurt, even if I can't walk, even if I can't talk, I want to be at practice. So I had a court scheduling practice for the day before, and I had to leave practice early. I felt really, really uncomfortable, and I had to go to practice. Everybody was looking at me, and everybody was like, what's going on? Are you leaving? Are you going to be able to play? I hope you can play. Everybody's asking questions. And it really would have been easy just to like not go to practice. Instead, I went to practice and ended up practicing as hard as I could, of course, for like 15 minutes. And it turned out being okay because I went downtown, got to enjoy my time, and eventually won. So it was awesome.
What sacrifices did you make to get here?
Yeah, I feel like a lot of sacrifices were made. But like I said earlier, just like the no partying, no like playing games. I haven't got to hang out with my friends for like years, and I know that sounds like pretty sad, but it all will be worth it in the future.
How did losses or setbacks shape you more than the wins?
Well, we didn't really lose at Olentangy Orange, so I can't really say much about that, but I will take it back to Westerville North. I feel like a loss would always be like the end of the world, but just like everything else, you're still there the next day. So going to practice the next day with a smile, being ready to put in the most effort and being able to get ready to get back up after you got punched down is the most important thing. So that's what I carried myself with to Orange, and then eventually we didn't have to lose anymore.
Let's go back.
Yeah.
Take me back to the moment you realized you were a state champion.
So when I realized, when the clock hit 0 on that state championship clock, I just like had a flash of all the times I played football in my life. It was like the football life before. It was like before you die, you have the flashback of your whole life. It was like the before you stop playing football, the flashback of football. And I just remember myself running around with the same guys that I was playing with on that day, and it just made me like the happiest person in the world, because just seeing all these other people happy and being able to play in this moment was just super cool. And I feel like being a big part of that was like the best thing in my life.
Who was the first person you thought of after winning it all?
The first person I thought of was my friend. He had always been there and always played with me. Even if like we would get in arguments and stuff like that, and I know we don't hang out a lot anymore, but like just being able to, we played him, he goes to Berlin, and we played him, and just being able to do something like that for my twin was like the best feeling ever.
What did that moment prove to yourself?
Yeah, it proved to myself that everything that I've worked for and everything that I've done has like paid off. And I feel like my motto of always just being the person to smile, and even if right or wrong, just be happy and be the one to carry people and lead people was worth it.
What does playing Division I football in Ohio demand?
Yeah, playing Division I football is a whole nother level in Ohio. A lot of people I know, they live in different places, and there's not the rankings that are usually the D1 and stuff like that. But D1 is like the highest level.
North is D2, right?
Yes, North is D1 in football, but D2 in basketball. Mm-hmm. So any sport, it's just a different kind of level. Everybody's good. Everybody wants to get better. All the coaches want the whole team to be good, and every coach wants to win states.
Like when it's all said and done, like not just football, what would you just take away just from everything?
Yeah, something I would take away is the people that you meet and the people that you build relationships with is the most important thing. And being able to do that was just such a blessing in my life, and just being able to, it just made me so happy that I was able to meet all these new people.